the worshipful, the Mayor of the London Borough of Barnet, Councillor Mark Shooter, President of the Board of Deputies of British Jews, Jonathan Arkush, Mrs. Marsha Gladstone, and members of the Jesner family, heads of JLGB and JVN, recipients of tonight's awards, ladies and gentlemen. It is such a huge pleasure for Valerie and me to be here with you this evening. I am deriving so much inspiration from this event. It's a pleasure to be here in the same hall as so many young people who have dedicated and committed so many hours of service voluntarily, using talent, ability, and effort and time in order to assist other people and to enrich our environment. So I'd like to thank all of you for what you are doing and for the inspiration you are giving. And in addition, I would like to thank the families of the recipients for enabling them to carry out these wonderful tasks of volunteering, because volunteering can only thrive and develop within a family context which is supportive of such initiatives. So thank you, parents and families, for assisting your children to achieve what they have. And Marsha, for you and the family, it must be an enormous source of comfort and encouragement, tonight as always, to recognize that Yoni's legacy lives on in the hearts and minds of so many people. And as tonight's event attests, so much good is being produced and done in the world today in the merit of Yoni, what he lived for and what he stood for. Now, recipients, I'd like to address a message to you. There is a perception that in Jewish tradition, within Jewish faith, there are two compartments to what we are about. They are the commandments between ourselves and God, and the commandments between ourselves and our fellow human beings. We have a connection with our Creator and a connection with others. Now that is correct, but I actually don't believe that it is best put in this way. I think there's a better way of presenting it. And the best way to understand this is through recalling what existed in the Holy of Holies in the temple of old. You will recall that the high priest, the Kohen Gadol, would enter into the Holy of Holies only once a year on Yom Kippur. And what existed there in that holiest spot on earth? There was, of course, the Ark of the Covenant with the 10 Commandments and the original Torah and the broken pieces of the first set of commandments inside the Ark. The Ark was made of pure gold. There was a gold lid, and emerging from that gold lid, there were three-dimensional figures, two of them. One which had the shape of a little boy, one which had the shape of a little girl, and they were facing each other. They're called the Kruvim, the cherubs. And isn't that amazing? These figures existed in the Holy of Holies, two faces facing each other with attention and affection and compassion. And what is the message of these cherubs? The message is that within the holiest spot on earth, God wants us to know that looking to other people, seeing how we need to care for them, looking after them with love and compassion is an integral part of what it means to be religious. It's an essential ingredient of all that which is holy in our faith. So it's not that there are two separate compartments between ourselves and God, between ourselves and our fellow human beings. No, in Jewish religion there is one single element, because being dedicated to God must include dedication to others. And as a result, when you go out there volunteering, serving the needs of others with compassion, what you are doing is you are reflecting the finest values of our religion, of our faith, and of our tradition. It's an ingredient that is so crucial and central to what it really means to be Jewish. So thank you, recipients, for doing this. You know, some time ago in Europe, the wealthiest family was the Rothschild family. And Reb Anshel Rothschild, in his day, living in Frankfurt in Germany, was known as the wealthiest man in the world. He was a traditional, devout, and committed Jew. And on one occasion, a man had traveled to see Rothschild. He was brought into his study, and he had chutzpah. And he said to Rothschild, "Everybody wants to know what you're worth. Could you put a figure on your fortune?" Real chutzpah. Rothschild didn't mind. He said, "Sure, it's easy for me to achieve that." He went over to his desk. He opened a drawer. From there, he took a ledger on which was written the word tzedakah, which means charity, and he started to tot up some figures. And the visitor said, "I don't think you understood my question. I didn't ask you what you've given away. I asked you what you've got." And Rothschild said, "I did understand your question. You see," he said, "I can't live forever. Like everybody on earth, the day will come when I will leave this world physically. And you know, the only thing that I'll be able to take with me will be the merit of what I've given away. And therefore, in truth, in the long term, the only thing that I've got is what I've given away." And that is such an important lesson for our times, at a time when so many people see materialistic values as the essence of life. But you, the recipients of the Yoni Jesner Award, know differently. Because the only thing in truth that we have is what we give away. The essence of our being is not how much money, how many possessions we can accrue, but on the contrary, what contribution we can give to our environment, how we can enrich our society and make this world into a better place. And you know for certain that what you truly have and will always have is that which you have given away. And therefore, on behalf of all of our community, I would like to thank you, the Yoni Jesner recipients, for appreciating the value of giving. And in that way, for doing what is central and essential within our Jewish faith and tradition. Through you, the spirit of Yoni lives on. And through you, we, the Jewish people, will, please God, have a great future. Tonight I've heard mention of 20 hours, 50 hours, even 100 hours. But actually, what the Yoni Jesner Awards are about is thousands of hours. All those hours and those days and those weeks, those months, those years, that in your future lives, please God, you will give, inspired by the Yoni Jesner Awards, always to be there for others, to give of your time, your attention, your ability, and your talent. Congratulations for what you've achieved till now, and may God bless you all to achieve much, much more in the future.